What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Torrence, and in today's video I am truly excited to show you all what I've done. I am someone who loves to search the internet for inspiration, and it seems like a lot nowadays many people just want to seem like they're original. They just come up with their own ideas on everything, and I find that really insulting to say that I was inspired by you but I can't give you credit. Because at the end of the day, there are very few original ideas out there, and we can all learn something from the next person. And one of those people who I truly enjoy going onto their Instagram page, just seeing how beautiful their makeup and their looks is a woman named Dreyah. She is absolutely stunning. When I tell you the personality, the makeup, the beauty, she's like the total package. And for someone to do a makeup look that I'm inspired by is one thing. For you to do a blue eyeshadow look that inspires me means you are doing something right, because I truly avoid oranges and blues anytime that I can. But as soon as I saw her look, I instantly DM'd her and asked her for permission to go ahead and recreate that look. But I ended up missing the tutorial that she did to show off how to do it. But I found out what shades she used, and I used those to create my own palette, which I have here. And I've nicknamed this palette the DreyDream Palette, just because it helps incorporate her name into the word daydream, because I don't think I would have ever come up with a color story like this on my own, just simply because I don't like the shade blue. But I'm gonna make sure I leave a link to her information down in the description bar below, because I would really love for you all to check out her page. I'm also gonna leave the information down below for the colouredraine singles that I used to create this palette, because they are having a half off sale. Unfortunately, they've announced that they're discontinuing those shadows. So I'm gonna make sure I leave all the singles from this particular palette down below. But if you would like to see what shadows I used to create this palette, as well as the tutorial on this look, just go ahead and continue to watch. Okay, how can I put this? This video really hurts my feeling to make, because although I am truly excited to show you all the palette that I've created, I'm just upset that my favorite single shadow formula is being discontinued. I've always spoken about how my favorite mattes are Viseart, my favorite shimmers are Pat McGrath, my favorite palettes are Melt, but my favorite singles were colouredraine. And that is why I created this palette here. I keep it in a limited edition Z palette. I'm someone who absolutely loves blue jeans, and if you see my colouredraine collection, which I'll leave linked right here, you see I've depotted all of those palettes instead of the new Juicy Boost one, and 3 of the 4 larger palettes are in Z palettes that have the denim packaging. But with those, it's just a sticker. With this one, it's actually textured, which made it that much more cuter to me. And I made a smaller palette just because I wanted something that just got straight to the point. So once again, I would like to say thank you, Dreyah, for the inspiration and the permission. And I did not catch when she did this look with a live tutorial. I had to work, so I missed out on it. But when she tagged colouredraine, I was like, no wonder it was so pretty. It was colouredraine. And although I never caught the tutorial, I did want to try to show you all my version of that look that I would recreate on myself. I'm not as pretty as Dreyah. We have different face and eye shapes, so I would have to use different brushes and things. So even though I didn't catch her tutorial, I want to show you all the palette that I created inspired by the look she did. They did mention 4 shades that she used, but I wanted to make sure that I put my own twist on things, which is why I like this 9-pan palette, because it gave me the option to add 5 more shades to make sure this is something I'm comfortable with. And first, I'm going to give you a close-up of all the shades before I tell you the name. And look at that, honey. This is colorful. As you can see, we have enough shades to do a neutral look, but more than likely with me, things are going to be dark and jewel toned or bold and bright. The 4 initial shades added to this palette were inspired by Dreyah's look, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I added these 5 here to make sure that it suited my personal style and taste in makeup. And I think it's absolutely stunning, because although I may have added this gold here just because it's bold and bright, I probably would have never used this blue. And now when I look at the whole color story now, I'm loving it. And now I'm going to give you the shade names of all of the colors and the reasons why I added them to this palette. The first shade we have here is Gingerbread. More than likely this was used as a transition shade. This one here is called Brick, and I believe this shade here was used in the crease. This shade is called Champagne Life, and I added this shade because I figured it could be used as a very light neutral shade with the two mattes, as well as an inner corner highlight for any of the looks. This shade is Superstar, and it was used as an inner corner highlight on Dreyah's look. This shade is Malibu, and this shade was added all over the lid. It was absolutely beautiful. This shade here is Gumby, and I added it simply because greens are my absolute favorite. So to any colorful palette, a matte and a shimmery green would be essential. This shade here is Black Moon, and I added that because behind greens, blacks are my absolute favorite. And because I already had two neutral mattes here, I could always use that to deepen up any look or just do a black smoky eye. This shade here is Majestic, and I added this because we have a shimmery blue here, and I usually like to have a matte shade to go with all of my shimmers. And this shade here, Paradise Isle, was added because it's a shimmery green, but it also has small blue reflex in it, so it goes beautiful with these shades here, as well as this one. So overall, this is an entire colorful palette that I would feel comfortable traveling with and having a full look, but I can always go back to the original inspiration and recreate Dreyah's look, which we're gonna go ahead and do now. Lately, I've been testing out some different items in my collections. I know you all have been wanting to see a brush collection video. I'm gonna try to get that recorded this weekend. But while fooling around with some of those brushes, I came across an old brush I used to use, the Wayne Goss number 16 brush. Haven't used it in a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it again today. And truth be told, normally I would say, oh, this is my first time attempting this look, but I really did do this look yesterday, tried to record it. Nope. I wasn't even gonna put that out there to y'all like that. That was just disrespectful. My lighting was off, my color was off because I tried some new products, a new highlighter, new bronzer. It was all trash. I'm like, nah, my subscribers deserve better than that. So I already know what I'm doing with today's look. We're gonna start off and add this shade here, Brick, to my entire crease using that Wayne Goss brush. And we're gonna start off with a very large brush because I want things really blown out. And when I tell you all, I was just so hurt that colouredraine would do something like that, honey. I'm guessing because either things weren't selling or with the current state of the makeup world, it's probably harder to keep certain items restocked, and it's probably just easier to do palettes because I'm quite sure those sell more. But before palettes were as popular as they are now, once upon a time, honey, all we cared about was singles and creating our own custom color stories. So to have my favorite singles brand decide they not gonna do it no more, it just felt like another blow to my makeup heart. And you see how quick and fast and beautifully that blended out. Gonna go in with one more layer because this is gonna be the crease shade, and because I'm confident with the pigmentation and blend of this shadow, I don't mind starting in the front of the eye. Normally you want to start on the outer half just in case you move your brush wrong or have too much product on the brush. But trust me, colouredraine does not fail. I want to make sure this comes all the way down because this is going to be big and bold. And on the outer half, I do have to go in and buff this up a little higher because I have that small bone right there, and he can sometimes take away from my blend. And you see how this Wayne Goss brush gets a blend going. It does not play with you. And I'm going to take just a tiny bit more of that color and we're going to just flick this out on the outer half here. Just going to brush it straight up and out. Coming up toward the eyebrow. You're going to take your brush up over your lid, and once you get to the outer corner, you're just going to flick it up toward the brow. Gonna jump cut and do the other side. Next, we want to diffuse the edges of that crease shade with this shade here, Gingerbread, and my Wayne Goss number 18 brush. And we're going to take that and we're going to slightly place it around the edges of that crease shade before we buff it out. Just want to get off as much product off the brush as possible. Then we're going to start diffusing the edges. And what I tell you all, I was so hurt that I missed that tutorial that she did because I wanted to see firsthand exactly which tools, which brushes, and which products were used, but I missed it. And thank God that colouredraine came through for us and mentioned what shade she used, because baby, I'd have just been stuck trying to figure it out. But now that we know what colors, it can give me a general idea of what I have to use to recreate it on myself, because once again, I know I ain't got the looks and the skill of that woman, honey. We ain't that pretty. And you see how that comes up to a softer blend than this side. But we're gonna go ahead, fix this one, get that going. Be right back. And just because I feel like being extra today, I'm gonna go back into that first shade Brick with my Wayne Goss number 17 brush and deepen up my crease a little bit. Yesterday when I tried this look, I didn't make my crease deep enough and I complained all day about it. Telling you, my family and friends kept telling me everything looked just fine, but I'm like, it ain't Dreyah fine. So we're gonna use this and just deepen up the hollowest part of my socket. Just because to me, it helps make that blend look that much better. Yeah, see, this to me looks like a better blend than this side. But we're gonna bring them up to speed. Baby, look at the blend on that. You know I'm excited, right? You know I'm excited. We're gonna go ahead, cut our lids with our NYX glitter adhesive, and I'll be right back. And when you got a hooded lid, honey, you like to cut the crease high. I checked in with y'all on several videos, made sure it was okay to use discontinued items, and I promise I love y'all because y'all said use what you got, we'll use what we got, especially because I gave alternate products that you can use, because trust me, although it is nice to use the exact same product someone else has, even then, that is no guarantee you'll get the exact same results. We all have different skin types, different skin tones, different preferences. So although I'm using the Sephora number 60 Must Have Powder Shadow Brush, use whichever brush you feel as if it's going to give you the best color pigment. This was the cheap brush I found on the clearance rack. I just happen to like it, and I just like the color of it. It's nice, it's sleek, it doesn't stain as easily as many lighter handle brushes. So this is the one I'm going to use, and we're going to use that brush to cover our entire lids with this shade here, Malibu. And what I'm telling you, honey, I'm loading my brush. Like, I picked up a crap ton of product because I want my lids to be drenched in this shade. I'm gonna press first, and then we're gonna come back and swipe into the areas closer to the edge. And baby, just looking at it right now, I'm still going like, oh, there's a lot of blue. But I'm telling you, in the end, she gorgeous. We're gonna go in for some more because I have really, really large lids. Like, I have some enormous eyelids. I truly have the lid space to put down like 4 or 5 lid shades with no issues. And we're going to try not to go to the very outer corner there. We're going to try to leave that blank and go back in with some matte to make sure we blend that out. And we're going to bring this all the way in front of the eye where we put that glitter glue as well. Up to the crease, down to the lash line, and make sure everything is covered. Bam! You see how that already comes in front. Now I'm going to take this, jump ahead, and do this on the other side. Alright, now we want to fill up our outer V. I'm going to go in with my Sonia G Blender Pro. I just need a large blending brush to fill up with our transition shade all over the outer V. We're going to pick up a lot of that color, just place it on the outer half. Really large, really fast. And then just buff it over to the edge of that. We just want to soften it up. Doesn't have to be precise or exact. Erase and do that on the other side. And now I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush, my number 19 brush with that shade Brick, and we're going to use that to deepen up the outer V here. Going to load up our brush, knock off as much of that product as possible. And then right there in the very hollowest point, we want to put that shade on the outer crease here. On the outermost tips, just so that that blend makes this look very deep and dark right here on the outer point. So it goes from dark to transition to blue. And I like doing this for depth in my look without actually having to use a black. And we can actually also take that shade a little bit. I'm going to lower my brush one more time and bring that out here along the lower lash point. I'm going to wing that out as well, right there. We can always clean this up with concealer later, but I want that to look like a dark wing that we've already added. Oh yeah, that's cute. I didn't do this yesterday, but you know what? Who cares? As you can see, things are bold and bright. What I'm going to go ahead and do is cut away, finish off my face, and I'll be back to show you all how we'll finish off the eyes. Bam! I heard y'all was missing me. Back at ya, and I'm telling you, honey, I am feeling things so far. I did go in off camera and apply a new blush. I'm trying out the KKW and Mario Very Graceful blush. Have that on here. For lips, Dreyah recommended a couple of items last month about her favorites. I already had the matte cork liner, so I use this all the time, so I didn't need to go pick that up. But she recommended a lipstick from a brand I love and trust, which is Maybelline. I'm wearing the Maybelline foundation and primer. I'll make sure I leave all of that in the description bar below. But I had never tried their cream lipstick in the shade 144 Naked Dare. Have that here on the lips now. It's absolutely beautiful. She also recommended a gloss, which I did pick up, but I'm not going to add it to today's look simply because I do have errands to run. And a gloss plus a face mask, it's just it's a bad combo, girl. I don't want to have to deal with it. But I'll make sure I leave that gloss in the description bar below if you want to pick that up. But for now, what I want to do is finish off on the eyes. Normally, I would go in with my Wayne Goss number 5 brush here. It's a small pencil brush, but because we're using so many discontinued items that I used to love, I'm going to go in with my MAC 219 brush. As you can see, they are both pencil brushes, but this MAC one here is a lot larger, so it's going to give me a much more diffused blend, and that's what I want to go for today. I'm going to go back in with this shade here, Gingerbread, and buff that out across my lower lash line, and if need be, I may go back in with this shade here, Brick, just to deepen it up. Alright, and we're just going to take this, start it on the outer half, and just sweep that all the way across. And I used to absolutely love this pencil brush. It was my very first one. And it just gives such a large, wide disbursement of color, which is why I love it. That Wayne Goss is much more tapered and much more precise. But for today's blown out look, this will get the job done. I just want to make sure this meets right here on the outer edge. Right there. I don't want there to be any clue on whether that meets. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. Now to finish off the eyes, we want to go in and highlight. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use this shade here, Champagne Life. For the inner corners, we're going to go right here into Superstar. And I'm going to be applying both with my MAC 242 brush. This is the discontinued natural hair brush, but it's my absolute fave. colouredraine makes extremely pigmented shimmers, so I only had to dip my brush one time. And I'm going to take that and try to spread that under both brows just to make sure one isn't metallic looking. Yeah, like whoop. Yeah, we got to go in slow with that, baby. And use that to slightly carve out underneath the brow and then diffuse that color down. Now for the inner corners, we want to pack it on. I'm going to pick up a ton of product and place that very heavily right here in the center. I want that gold to be a standout color of its own. Yes, ma'am. I can already see that from across the room, honey. And I want you to be able to see it too. Let's hurry up and get this on the other side. Honey, you can't tell me nothing about this. We got to hurry up and spray so we can get this shown. Fix Plus to give us a dewy look. All nighter to last all day. Last, honey. Cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Gonna give this a few more seconds to dry and I'll be back to give you all my final thoughts. And this is the final look. I'm going to go ahead and give you all a full face view of things. And I promise you all, colouredraine has not let me down yet. I am someone who truly try to avoid oranges and blues at all costs just because I feel as if they are not very flattering on myself. But this is pretty. And although the only shimmery shade I have on my lid is a blue, it's amazing how just this little spark of gold takes it to a whole nother level and instantly brings my attention back. Like, honey, I'm feeling like a little macaw over here. All I need is a little black to go with it. But considering how long and feathery these lashes are, I'm liking this. And I honestly was going to go in with lashes because Dreyah usually wears lashes. But just seeing how long mine are, I was like, you know what? Who needs them? We'll just go ahead and step back. That way, whenever we wear this look in public without the mask, oh, we bring in the lashes because we will be going full glam. But I truly hope you all did enjoy this look. I am absolutely stunned by it. I want to once again thank Dreyah on the inspiration for this look and this palette. Please, if nothing else, I know I usually ask you all to like, comment, or subscribe. But if you could do nothing else for me, please check out her Instagram. Leave a comment over there letting her know that I sent you over there because I'm telling you, that woman is beautiful and talented. It's just, check her out. You'll see what I mean. Like, she is stunning. Also, make sure you all go get you some of these colouredraine singles because once they're gone, they are gone. And I'm telling you, many people fool around with color. They do not. Like, you see, these are bare fingers. All you have to do is just one, like, one there, one there, one there, one there. That was just literally one swipe. When I tell you, Colored Raine does not play, honey. One swipe, just one swipe, and look at this color pigmentation. Go get y'all some. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna try to grab as many as I can. You better do the same. And for the last time, I truly hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below if you have any Colored Raine singles. And don't forget to go check out Dreyah's Instagram page. And with that being all for now, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube. Did it again. Alright, goodbye, you all.